righty, our guest today is a 6-foot guard from the University of Iowa, the NCAA all-time Division I scoring leader, the first pick of the WNBA draft, WNBA assist leader, all-star, and 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Caitlin Clark, the basketball superstar, queen of clutch, and face of the sport, kicked off the year as the first guest of the year on the New Heights podcast. Yes, Travis and Jason Kelce brought in the biggest star in sports today, and Caitlin did not hold back from jaw-dropping career revelations to her mindset after this unforgettable season. This interview is full of moments that will leave you speechless. She is also the most requested guest in the history of our show, and she was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. Please welcome everyone. But wait, what does Caitlin have to say about the pressure of being a sports icon? The Kelce brothers wasted no time setting the scene and starting the show with their trademark humor. Jason and Travis dove right into Caitlin's astounding list of accomplishments, from dominating the court as the most electrifying player in college basketball to becoming a household name. Let's face it, when two NFL superstars are making jokes about how your resume makes theirs look short, you know you're in a league of your own. What's next for her soaring career? And why is everyone talking about that one remark she made about the NBA? Sit tight, because we're breaking it all down right here, right now. I appreciate it. The ideal icebreaker that sets the tone for an interview full of surprises and substance. How many accolades did we leave off? How many accolades do you currently have? I think you may have made some up, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I feel like you're kind of like Wayne Gretzky for basketball right now. The list of awards and accomplishments on the Wikipedia page is like an endless list, so it's true that we had to keep it to this list just to get the show started. I appreciate it. And guess what? Jason wasn't exaggerating there. She broke a whopping 62 records during her senior season at Iowa and achieved at least 40 records and honors. Caitlin's freshman WNBA season doesn't even include all of her accolades from her first 3 years of college. The list is so long that Wikipedia decided to create a separate page for Caitlin's records and accomplishments. I guess that's a good question, and I'd give you the answer that my mom would say is probably academic All-American, because she was proud of me for being a good student in college. That's the answer from Mom, what I'm talking about, so I hung in there. But other than that, they're all cool, but you don't really care. It just comes with having fun. Then Caitlin switches gears, bringing a heartfelt moment to the fun. In the conversation, she mentions how her mother is ecstatic about her being named an academic All-American, a title that, to her family, means just as much as her dominance on the court. Caitlin goes on to say that all of these accolades are simply the result of working hard, and actually enjoying the game breaking records was never her goal. But then comes the gold. Caitlin talks about what she believes to be her greatest accomplishment to date. Winning Athlete of the Year was cool too, because you see the list of all the athletes they've had before me and many of the people I looked up to as a child, and LeBron is the only other basketball player. It's cool as a woman because they haven't had many female athletes on the cover, so for women's sports. How long have you been a part of the kingdom? I'm sorry, Jason, I'm an honorary member. I'm from the Midwest, so there's this picture that's been there for a long time. Caitlin's perspective is clear, it's bigger than her. This humility is exactly why she continues to be such a beloved figure on and off the court. It's kind of special, but you know, just kind of comes with playing the game and having fun. As you guys know, Caitlin gracefully brushes aside the spotlight on her Time Athlete of the Year honor for her. It's not just a personal accolade, it's a win for women's sports as a whole. Circulating a couple of photos from a few years ago when I was on Peyton Eli's Monday night show, and I'm wearing a full Chiefs outfit. My dad was a huge Chiefs fan growing up, and I grew up in Damo, Iowa, which is only 3 hours away from Kansas City. So yeah, that's just the closest NFL team. The conversation takes a humorous turn when Caitlin's passion for the Kansas City Chiefs comes into play. She talks about how much she loves the team and how she's been following their amazing run since she was a child. Of course, with Travis Kelce right there, the banter practically writes itself. People assume I'm just a bandwagon Chiefs fan, so I respond, no, I was there before Patrick and Travis, like we were I love it, we were Rid or D. So we've been huge fans, and now, obviously, all the success you guys have had has made it a lot of fun for us. From her favorite game memories to the Chiefs' unwavering drive, it's evident that Caitlin isn't just a basketball phenom, she's a die-hard sports fan through and through. Growing up in Kansas City with my cousins, we would go to the Chiefs like once a year, and we still try to go. We went to the game on Christmas Day last year, and I believe the year before you might have played on Christmas Eve. We were sitting outside for that one, and my toes were like they were going to fall off. I don't understand how you guys. Playing in that kind of weather is fun, and they let us Arrowheads not too bad. Then she made a big Chiefs fan request to Travis saying, I have some time, so hopefully I can make it to a Chiefs game here soon, maybe a playoff game or something. I'll tell you what, though, we punched our tickets, so we're definitely going to at least have one at Arrowhead, but you know you're invited to them all, so all right, thank you guys so much. She's right here talking about her childhood Chiefs fandom. My dad always had them on whether we were upstairs or in the basement, and my mom is like the best chef of all time, so she would frequently prepare delicious food while we watched, but that was what I really looked forward to most on Sundays. You know, there weren't any college sports, but we would watch the Chiefs, and I would be upset if they lost. I still think that watching the Chiefs on Sundays is the best part of my day. Caitlin starts off by talking about how basketball has always been a part of her life, sharing stories about playing against boys in middle school and the time she started to stand out. Then she makes the astounding discovery that she received her first college recruiting letter in 7th grade. Yes, while most children were concerned about the drama in middle school, Caitlin was already being considered by major programs. Let's hear her talk about that amazing moment and how it influenced her future. We heard that you received your first recruiting letter in 7th grade. Is that true? At that time, were you playing with high school students? It's really sad that college recruitment is kind of gone, but I also feel very fortunate that my parents told my older brother to go get the mail because they didn't want your sister to see that I was in 7th grade. They wanted me to enjoy middle school and hang out with my friends, so you shouldn't be worrying about attending college I love. That's a lot. Caitlin then talks about how her parents made sure she had a good time in high school and surrounded her with wonderful people who helped shape who she is now. I didn't really take any visits until after my freshman year of college, and I didn't decide until my senior year, so I wasn't in a rush. And my parents did a great job of making sure I have a good circle around me. It wasn't always about college recruitment. I wasn't like posting my offers either, because that wasn't really a thing when I was growing up. The three of them then joke about how college recruitment has turned into a social media frenzy, and they reminisce about the good old days. She's 22 years old. Evidently mature beyond her years. It was close to when you were growing up. In fact, it was close enough that people were beginning to post things like, oh, I got an offer from here, got an offer from here. In particular, basketball is all you see on social media these days, and nobody talks about it. It's crazy, but obviously times have changed too. 7th grade was crazy, and I was playing up to 2 years, so I was playing with high schoolers. But yeah, I didn't really think much of it. I was just going out there and hooping and having fun. That's kind of what came with it. Caitlin reflects on her rookie season, a delicate balancing act between blending in with her team and it's a fascinating look at the mindset of an athlete who knows when to lead, when to listen, and how to elevate the entire team without overshadowing the collective effort. You come in as a rookie, and like you said, you're trying to figure out a new environment, new teammates, like you don't want to say too much, don't want to say too little, and it's just so hard. But in my scenario, and obviously you guys too, like you're already highly thought of. So it's difficult because people are looking to you to be something or someone. Caitlin takes a moment to highlight her veterans and teammates, giving them full credit for helping her transition smoothly into the game at the next level. She speaks gratefully about how their guidance, encouragement, and shared experiences helped her find her footing. It's evident that while her talent is undeniable, it's the support of those around her that has truly made the journey so rewarding for Caitlin. I don't know you nailed it well, but I also feel like I had a lot of really good vets around me, so I feel very. We've had a relatively young team as well, so people had experienced it recently, so they understood how I felt, but I think that's a huge challenge in any professional sport. You're trying to learn, but people are looking at you like you have to perform and be what they drafted you to be. I love this scene with Aaliyah Boston pouring into this young rookie during her first game against the Kinetic Sun. It's supposed to be difficult. This is an adjustment period, and Aaliyah makes sure her rookie knows we've got your back. Or how about Erica Wheeler embrace Caitlin from the beginning? I wanted to get ahead of it because I know this transition is difficult just being. The trio then discussed Caitlin's welcome to the WNBA. I knew immediately that my eardrum had popped and ruptured because I've done it before, and I was like, I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but I've done it before. How did you do it before? Can I guess I was 2? Oh, I guess it was very Midwestern. You did it in water. I got LA. Why did you just get so excited? That's how I did mine. The tone changes as Caitlin reflects on the transformative nature of the past year with sincerity, sharing how life-changing it's been, not just in terms of basketball, but also in the opportunities, growth, and lessons that I've learned. Jason was a male swim cadet, so he had to do this. But don't put me on blast like that. That's funny. But yeah, I got launched off a tube in the middle of a lake, and I was like, am I okay? That's Midwest stuff right there. Have come her way, I would say something like, I don't know, life-changing. Maybe that's a great one. I think all in a good way, like that's just the way the world works, especially with social media, people seeing a lot of your life. But that's what makes it fun and why I've had so many cool opportunities too. So it's crazy, like looking back at a year ago today or around this time, like I was just beginning my senior year at college, and obviously, people knew who we were and people attended our games, but obviously not on the magnitude that it is now. That explains why she's such an inspiration outside of the court. Life changes quickly, but that's what makes it exciting and cool. I feel fortunate to have moved to Indianapolis and am still in the Midwest, as I believe I've lived here my entire life. Jason is officially an East Coaster now, but Philly, of all the East Coast cities, has a certain Midwest flair to it. I don't think Philly wants to hear that, though they'll probably hate that I said it. In any case, they're not going to like that remark. They want to be far from the Midwest. It's a bold and refreshing perspective from someone who understands what draws fans in and keeps them hooked. Let's hear Caitlin's unfiltered thoughts on what the NBA could do to win back views. What are your suspicions as to why the NBA ratings would be down? I feel like the average basketball fan doesn't understand how good NBA players are, and they think it looks like they're not trying. I promise you, they're trying. They're just like so good, like that's why it looks like they're not trying. It's clear that the league's physicality has changed a lot since I was around, and maybe people want more physicality and beef, and they think it's gotten soft, but I think that's also because the skill has just changed. She then shares her honest thoughts about how basketball is great because it's always changing, like it will be different in 10 years than it is now, and it's going to be different than when Michael Jordan played, so it's difficult for me to figure out why it has declined. Additionally, it's competing against a lot of football right now, which you have to take into account, like football is just the favorite sport in America. I love three-point shooting, and I love watching guys just shoot threes, but not everyone enjoys that. So I'm not sure what you think about a four-point line, but I think it's a great idea. How does the criminal justice major come up with the best marketing strategy right here? Sometimes you just have to open your eyes, Jason. Look at the sheet of paper in front of you, or we could get like two spots. What about you saying that everyone is wondering how physical the game is, and do you think a hockey-style fight won once A? I think it should be East vs. West because that's what it was about, and I'm on board for East vs. West All-Stars because I think that's the whole point of it. The best from the East and the best from the West play each other to see which side is better, and even the NBA in-season tournament was about that. Then they start talking about all the crazy gimmicks of the NBA All-Star game. Not spared from the roasting, I won't lie. I don't like any of the NBA's in-season tournaments. I was actually discussing this today, and I'm getting a migraine from the neon green. Then they switch gears and talk about Caitlin's hilarious golf adventures. Did you hit someone on a TBX? I don't know how you do that, okay? Would you hit someone on a TX? I know I can relate, Jason. I'm not sure if you played in enough Pram yet, but the video that was going viral where I like has completely topped it, so it's crazy. We're playing these long par 3s that are about 200 yards long. And I'm like, I'm not good enough to hit a par 3 like 200 yards. So I'm like, tee up my hybrid club, just top it like straight out to the left. But I think they downed the third baseline, but I nailed somebody on a different par 3, like some woman like right in the shoulder, like I saw a TikTok like the next day, just like black well on her arm. Well, that's just, you hit her good. Jason then asked her a brilliant question about her renowned competitiveness, and you won't believe what she said. Basketball is difficult, and I believe that golf aggravates me even more because I'm not very good at it. You want to be good, like you're competitive, like in basketball or football, and it's like, why am I not good at this so? We're used to team sports, so it seems like it's all my fault, so I understand your pain. Caitlin concludes the discussion by discussing how she might combine her marketing major with her intense love for basketball, whether it be mentoring young athletes or opening up new opportunities for women. Caitlin Clark's vision for the future of sports is as dynamic as her game, and it's obvious that she's already considering making an impact that goes far beyond her playing years. If you had majored in marketing, would you have pursued that field further, or do you think you would have pursued something else? Oh, that's difficult. I believe that even if my basketball career had ended, I would still have loved sports because it played such a significant role in my childhood. And I think that working in the front office of a sports organization or something would be cool, not the coaching aspect of it, but the operational side. And getting to do things like free agency stuff, I think. As the interview comes to an end, it's hard not to be inspired by Caitlin Clark's journey, her humility, and her vision for the future. From considering her accomplishments to sharing her honest opinions on sports and life, Caitlin's authenticity is evident in every word. Her story is still being written, but one thing is certain: whether she's playing basketball in the classroom or preparing for her next move, Caitlin Clark is leaving a legacy that goes beyond basketball. For more insights from one of the most exciting athletes of our time, be sure to listen to the entire hour-long interview on the New Heights podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.